The year is 2007. A digging expedition is underway. The experts have chosen this place, Pattanam in India's Kerala state. And what are they hoping to find? Ruins of Muziris, a lost ancient city. This is the real Indiana Jones deal, minus the cool costume and the whip. But did the experts find anything? Well, yes and no. They found hoards of Roman glass beads, pottery, seals and coins. And that made one thing clear. This place did have contact with the Roman Empire. But was it Muziris? There was no way to confirm that. This is a mystery that has confused historians for decades, the mystery of India's first emporium. Muziris traded with everyone, the Romans, the Chinese, the Arabs and the Persians. But around 5th century AD, something went wrong. The port disappeared from history books, and by the 14th century, it disappeared from the map. So what happened to Muziris? Why did it disappear, and where is it today? Time for a flashback. It's the 1st century BC. The Roman Empire is the top dog in town. But even they have a weakness, black pepper. You probably have it on your table right now, but back then it was black gold. The rich Romans put pepper in everything, even desserts apparently. Just one problem though. It was really expensive. You see, pepper was not sold directly in Rome. It was grown in southern India, bought by Arab merchants, and then sold to Rome. The middlemen made a lot of money. So around the 1st century BC, the Romans changed strategy. Why not buy pepper directly? That's how they landed in Muziris. We're talking around 2,000 years ago. The region around Kerala was ruled by the Chera dynasty. They aced maritime trade. Spices, ivory, metal, they sold all of it. So the Cheras saw the potential in pepper. They also saw the eagerness of the Romans. Demand met supply and trade began. Thousands of tons of pepper passed through Muziris. As they say today, the cash register was ringing. In fact, Rome had a trade deficit with ancient India. We exported more than we imported. This is mighty Rome we are talking about. The deficit was around worth 500,000 gold coins. The biggest share belonged to Muziris. But how did Rome pay for the pepper? With a variety of things like gold, coral, glassware, olive oil, even Roman coins. Many such coins have been excavated across India. If the Romans liked pepper, we liked gold. You can find Muziris on ancient Roman maps, including this one. It's called the Putinga map. And what does it show? All Roman road networks from the 3rd century. At the bottom right, you can spot Muziris. Tells you how important the town was. Rome even stationed soldiers in Muziris. They wanted to protect the pepper trade at all cost. Roman writer Pliny called Muziris the first emporium of India. An emporium is basically a place to trade, like a trading town. It's hard to imagine what this one looked like. But ancient Tamil poems do give us an idea. With its gold deliveries carried by the ocean-going ships, the city that bestows much wealth to its visitor, the city where liquor abounds, yes, this Muziris, where the rumbling ocean roars, is given to me like a marvel, a treasure. How about that? Gold, liquor, and treasure. Remember, this is 2,000 years ago. The poems talk about a bustling, decadent city. The ships keep going out with pepper, and others keep coming back with gold. Life must have been great here. But there was a plot twist coming. Muziris made most of its money from pepper, meaning from the Roman Empire. But around 3rd century BC, Rome had its own problems. The empire split into 3. The politics was chaotic and the economy was bad. So pepper wasn't exactly the top priority. Historians have a name for this episode. They call it the crisis of the 3rd century. Nearly ended the empire. Eventually, Rome recovered, but Muziris did not. The trade did continue over the next centuries. The Chinese, for example, kept buying from Muziris. But the old prosperity was gone. No more poems about liquor or gold or pepper. It was a port city in decline. In the 14th century, nature put Muziris out of its misery. We still don't know what really happened. Maybe it was a flood or a cyclone. Basically, some sort of cataclysmic event. That's the last we've heard of Muziris. It simply disappeared from books and maps. So where is it today? The first theory was Mangalore in Karnataka, but it was quickly dismissed by historians. The second theory was Kerala. That's how they landed up at Pattanam. In 2007, the digging began. They found traces of toilets, drains and foundations. Clearly, it was an ancient urban settlement. In 2020, more evidence emerged. A class 12 student was fiddling around in her uncle's backyard in Pattanam. I say backyard, but it was also an excavation site. And guess what she found? A button-shaped Roman seal. It had the picture of a sphinx. A similar one was actually worn by Roman Emperor Augustus Caesar. For many historians, that's enough evidence. They are convinced that Muziris has been found. And yet doubts remain. Lost cities are never easy to pinpoint, especially once destroyed by natural calamities. But historians remain hopeful. Only 1% of the site in Kerala has been excavated, so a lot of stuff is still below the ground. We can't say for sure that Muziris lies below the sleepy village. But one thing's for sure. 2,000 years ago, an Indian port dominated world trade like Dubai or Singapore of today. It nearly bankrupted the Roman Empire, drowned itself in riches, and disappeared overnight.